Norwich City keep on signing football players, and I'm going to keep making videos about them because apparently that's what everybody on here wants to see. Welcome back to Talk Norwich City, everyone. Jack Reeve here, and as I've just mentioned, Norwich City are signing footballers at a real rate of knots as we try and prepare to the Championship season, which is just around the corner. We spoke last week about Sebastian Soto, Bali Mumba, Pwamazwa Pwaheta and also Sorensen, and we've now got two more players to add to that list of newly signed players. They go by the name of Matthew Dennis and Kieran Dowell. I went on holiday for 1 week and we signed 4 footballers. I don't think that's ever happened before. I know I'm a little bit late to this, but I'm sure you want to hear more about Matthew Dennis and Kieran Dowell, even if you already know about them, because it's always exciting when your football club signs players. You get that rush of adrenaline. I spoke about it before, even if you don't know much about the players, which in some cases so far that is the case. Matthew Dennis, never heard of him before we signed him, but now I'm looking at him and going, cool, he's going to be the man that takes us into Europe in a few years' time. Let's start with Matthew Dennis, then 18 years old, joins Norwich City until the summer of 2022 on his original contract. He joined Arsenal as a 6-year-old boy, went through their academy right the way through until now, where we have signed him. And Chris spoke to Chris Davison, who's a big Arsenal fan, on Twitter. I'll put the screenshots up now to get a little lowdown. Head over and follow Chris as well, if you don't already, at Chris Revo. Chris Davison basically said he's another decent addition to your academy. He's a right back who can play further forward in attack, i.e. midfield. Made a couple of decent appearances in the FA Youth Cup this season. So the standout moment was when he scored a cracking goal against Southampton in the 4th round of the competition, ran from his own half and took a pop from outside the box. Didn't get many minutes this season though, and he was waiting for a professional contract offer which never came. So he decided to leave the club after his scholarship deal expired. Look, this Matthew Dennis very much fits the mould of the signings we've seen. Certainly Bali Mumba and Sebastian Soto, who will probably be either loaned straight back out or will go through the under-23s and through the youth system like that, and hopefully break into the team like Max, like Jamal, and players like that have done in recent seasons. It seems that we are trying to sign players of this age, maybe a little bit younger in some cases, like we did with Jamal, like we did from Max. We can't forget they came through at Luton. It was the same with Ben Godfrey. He came through at York. So we're not necessarily producing these players who we hope to get into the first team, but we're purchasing them at a time when they've obviously had a really decent education, and then hopefully we can embed them at Norwich, because it's obvious that our philosophy at the moment and the culture around the club is one of let's start young players. It was one of the big successes that Stuart Webber has talked about a lot, is that the amount of academy appearances in the first team over the past couple of seasons has been way more than that of the past 10 seasons, I think the statistic was. So Matthew Dennis is an interesting one. I doubt we'll see him in the first team next season, but certainly one to keep an eye on, whether he goes out on loan or whether he simply progresses through the youth ranks at Norwich City, and hopefully you'll be seeing him in the first team maybe in a couple of seasons' time. The other one, which I'm sure we'll be seeing in the first team next season, is Kieran Dowell. Now, I'm sure many of you know about Kieran Dowell. I'm sure if the name doesn't ring a bell, then you would have watched him play at some point, because he has played against Norwich City in recent seasons. He came through Everton's academy, like Pwaheta, like Sorensen, like Soto, like Mumba, like Dennis, like Sam McCallum, like Sinani. Another young player. We are bringing in a lot of young players at the moment, which some would say we probably need a bit more experience. I'm sure we'll see slightly more experienced players come through the door soon, but at the moment it's clear that we're trying to bed the youth in. Came through Everton's academy, has had recent loan deals at Nottingham Forest, Championship, Sheffield United, Championship, Derby, Championship, and Wigan, Championship. This is a man who has had nearly 3 seasons experience in the Championship, and he's only 22. That's impressive. Most of them loan deals worked out well. Nottingham Forest fans rate him really highly. Sheffield United, he got promoted to the Premier League with. Didn't really work out at Derby County, and that loan deal was ended earlier than it should have done. Then he went to Wigan, and he really did well there. He scored 5 goals in 22 games this season across the 2 different clubs. Probably the most memorable, and it sticks out because it happened recently. He scored a hat-trick for Wigan against Hull in their memorable 8-0 win. And if you actually look at the football Wigan were playing, it was one of an attacking philosophy similar to that of Norwich City. And I know they went down in really sad circumstances because of the 12-point deduction, but they were actually one of the form teams from not only the lockdown restarting, but also in 2020. So he comes full of confidence, comes off the back of playing regular championship football, and that is very promising. Now, he's a central attacking midfielder, which indicates there's going to be people leaving, and we know that, right? Stiepermann possibly might be leaving, Buendia maybe, Cantwell maybe. That area of the pitch, at the moment, we have a lot of bodies in. Of course, we won't need to be going into the season with 3-4 central attacking midfielders. But if we look at the players that might be leaving, Kieran Dowell could be the man that occupies that Norwich City shirt in that position. We all know how vital Marco Stiepermann was in Norwich City's promotion from the Championship. It was clear he maybe lacked a bit of quality in the Premier League. I don't think he was necessarily given as much of a chance as he should have been. But you know, these things happen, right? Players have a good season, then they won't maybe feature, and then they move on. It's very fast moving in football. Now, I'm certainly not saying that Stiepermann's out of the door, and I'm certainly not saying that Buendia's definitely out of the door, but there will be movement in that area, and hopefully Kieran Dowell is a good signing. Came out of nowhere with Mumba and Soto and Poaheta and Sorensen. There was being talk that these players might be signing, and Kieran Dowell just popped up out of nowhere. A lot of people thought it would be a loan deal. I think for Dowell's development, it's probably important that he got a permanent move away from Everton. It's unlikely that he's going to be breaking in to the Everton side anytime soon. They're going for, you know, European positions in the Premier League. Maybe a level slightly too high for him at the moment. But the Championship and Norwich City's expectations will be that one of, you know, at least the top 6. Hopefully Dowell will be the man to occupy that number 10 shirt. So there we go. Exciting. Both Dennis and Dowell. I'm sure there'll be more signings coming in weeks to come. Thanks for watching. As I always mention, the Ko-fi link will be in the description below. It's a donation page in which you can help with the running costs of TNC. In return, you'll get an invite to the TNC Members Club Facebook page. It's a really nice community over there. Yeah, if you donate £3 or more, we will send a link and I'll email it over. Also, hit like, hit subscribe. Loads of videos coming your way over the coming weeks. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Matthew Dennis and also Kieran Dowell. And I'll see you in a video again very soon. Bye-bye.